What's going on, everyone? So the Los Angeles Lakers lost in the Western Conference Finals, and it was disappointing, right? They got swept by the Denver Nuggets, but there was a lot to be excited about and a lot to kind of hang your hat on if you're the Lakers and just Lakers Nation in general, right? I mean, the Lakers 2 months earlier were the 13th seed and weren't even looking like they were going to make the playoffs. And then all of a sudden they make these trades and they go on just this crazy run and they're 4 games away from being in the NBA Finals. And I absolutely believe would have beaten the Miami Heat. I mean, I said even then, whoever won this series was going to win the NBA championship. And it's unfortunate that the Lakers weren't that team. It's unfortunate that Denver got it, but congrats to Denver. Denver, got their first ever NBA championship. The Lakers got 17, so they'll have to just wait, hopefully just one more year for number 18. But that's the kind of point that I want to talk about now, is that the Lakers, again, are in the Western Conference Finals. And we've talked a lot recently about, do the Lakers go all in? Do they stand pat? Do they kind of retweak? Like, do they kind of go a rebuild almost or a retool? I just really think the Lakers, based on the information that we have currently, and it could change at any moment, it's all just rumors and speculation until it's not, the Lakers got to go all in, right? Like, Bradley Beal is available, and the Lakers could trade and obtain him. Chris Paul is reportedly willing and ready to go to the Lakers if he ends up getting waived by the Phoenix Suns. A lot of people have reported that, and it just feels like, okay, you were just in the Western Conference Finals. You have X amount of years left with LeBron James and Anthony Davis. 1, 2, maybe you get a couple more out of them. But you got at least one more, right? And then LeBron's contract expires, and then you have the player option for him. And he can either stay in or he could retool. So maybe you can pay Chris Paul a little more and Bradley Beal's contract goes up a little bit. And maybe you kind of, maybe LeBron's willing to take $10 million, especially if the Lakers win the NBA championship. But my thing is that if you have an opportunity to just push your chips to the table and go all in, I think you have to, right? If the whole point is to compete and contend and try to win NBA championships, and that is the goal, then you need to do whatever it takes in order to do so. And I know a lot of people aren't really high on Chris Paul or even Bradley Beal or stuff like that. And, there are question marks, and there may even be question marks, the year after LeBron leaves or later on, right? Especially like if you have Bradley Beal, you're going to have him on an overinflated contract. Like, Bradley Beal's a star, but he's not a superstar. And he's getting superstar money. He's getting like top 5 guy in the league type money. And he's not that. He's maybe top 25 in the league. But he is a very good player that could find a lot of success, fits and makes a lot of sense with the Lakers. And you add Bradley Beal to this roster. And then on top of that, if you can add Chris Paul, and here's the crazy thing, is you could still keep Jared Vanderbilt, Max Christie, Rui Hachimura, Austin Reeves, right? So you basically got those guys plus LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and then you're adding Bradley Beal and Chris Paul. There's your basically 8-man roster. Go get a center and free agency that can back up Anthony Davis, and you're the best team in the league. I mean, imagine a starting 5 of Chris Paul, Bradley Beal, let's say Jared Vanderbilt, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis. That is far and away the best starting 5 in the league, by far. Like, that is ridiculous. And all the pieces fit. All the pieces make sense. You got 2 great playmakers in Chris Paul and LeBron James. And then on top of that, you have a deep bench of Rui Hachimura, Austin Reeves, whoever else you re-sign. Like, do you keep Dennis Schroeder? Do you keep Lonnie Watt? Like, the Lakers could just be stacked front to back and have just all the weapons. There are injury concerns, of course, of Bradley Beal and Chris Paul and stuff, but if they don't have to play 40 minutes a game and be the number 1, number 2 options, that's massive, right? Like, that changes everything. Because, Bradley Beal having to play 40 minutes a game and be the number 1 option night in and night out, he's going from that to like the 3rd option. And Chris Paul being the second option, playing 35 to 40 minutes a game on the Phoenix Suns, going from that to being the fourth or fifth option, it changes everything. Now, you don't have, like, Bradley Beal and Chris Paul only have to play 30 minutes a game, maybe not even that many, right? If you're just running through everybody, right? Like, you got to have them, they get to play, half the minutes that they were playing before. And then that also does the same thing for LeBron and Anthony Davis. It allows LeBron to keep his minutes low, and then he only has to play 25, 30 minutes. Same thing with Anthony Davis. And then all of a sudden, these guys are healthy for the playoffs. You're contending for an NBA championship, right? Like, if they're going to miss games, yeah, sure. Like, who cares? It's are they healthy for the NBA playoffs? If they are, good luck trying to beat this team in a 7-game series. Good luck. And I look at the options, right? Even if it's not Bradley Beal and, Chris Paul, right? Like, I really do think Chris Paul is going to be a Laker. I really do. And a lot of reports and credible people really believe the same thing. But let's say they don't trade for Bradley Beal. Maybe you trade for Buddy Hield and Miles Turner. I mean, there's talks about the Lakers trying to, maybe move the 17th pick and trading back in the draft, as well as maybe acquiring like a Buddy Hield in the process. They're targeting teams that have multiple picks. And again, the Indiana Pacers are one of those teams. And so maybe you could do a Beasley in the 17th pick for Buddy Hield. And, I think they have like the 26th and 29th pick, something like that. So maybe you could get those picks in the draft and kind of upgrade that. Maybe you can work out a deal to maybe get Miles Turner as well. This was a deal that was on the table. I think this makes a world of sense now, right? Like, can you sign and trade D'Lo and Beasley along with the 17th pick, even the 29th pick if you have to, and go get these two guys and then sign Chris Paul, and you got Chris Paul, Buddy Hield, Miles Turner, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, Jared Van. I mean, the Lakers have options, but I just think you have this window. The window is clearly open. You got to go for it. Go for it. Push it in, right? Because, again, championships aren't guaranteed, right? And I get that a lot of people, stay the course, get young talent. Some people, I've seen a lot of people even say, like, we should maybe trade LeBron James and Anthony Davis for younger. And, let's forego that. But here's the thing. Again, it's the Lakers. One, you're always going to have that next guy that wants to come. It's just, you're going to have that. There's always going to be that player or two that wants to go to the Lakers and be in the weather and Hollywood and Silicon Valley and all the women and all the nightlife and, even just business perspectives or, just to be and be able to go to the beaches and stuff or just the prestige that is the Lakers. You're always going to have those things. So you're never going to have to really worry about stars. Yeah, maybe you got to, have like a 2-3 year hiatus. Same thing's going to happen if you do a rebuild or, you go with the young talent post LeBron James and Anthony Davis. You're probably not winning an NBA championship. But the thing is, too, is that especially with all the teams that are on the rise, all the teams that have all this talent and all this flexibility and all that stuff, the Lakers already don't have much and it's not really changing. Like, if you have an opportunity to win an NBA championship, go do that because it's not guaranteed. The Lakers could stay the course, right, and not win. LeBron retires, and then they don't win again. And, next thing you know, it's 2030, and they still haven't won a championship, and it's been 10 years, right? Like, if you have an opportunity to win another NBA championship, and you can win it 3 years, 4 years after you just won the last one, you do that. And then hopefully, when all is said and done, that happens again, and you do it again, right? And you just keep repeating the process. And the Lakers are going to have picks and stuff like that along the way. Lakers are going to get young assets and stuff like that along the way. And the Lakers already have that. You could go and do a deal for, again, like I said, a Bradley Beal or maybe Buddy Hield to Miles Turner, or maybe it's DeMar DeRozan or something like that. Whatever's available to try to go all in. Even if you go all in and you don't win. Right, like let's say you go get Bradley Beal and you get Chris Paul and you don't win. The Lakers might have not have won either way, right? Like unless it's just like a disaster and they miss the playoffs or something, because at least you know that this team would make the playoffs, but I don't see that happening. And so, again, championships aren't guaranteed. So if you have a real opportunity to put yourself in the best position to get one, you do it. I see so many people that, talk and will be like, oh, the Lakers want everybody, or the Lakers want this, or the Lakers want that, and I can't believe it. And it's like, well, duh, every team wants that. Every team that's serious about trying to win. And as much as people like to clown the Lakers always seem to get what they want. The Lakers always seem to be, all of a sudden you look up and it's like, oh man, they're a legit contender. Oh, they just won another championship, right? Like, we were down for a little while. What's going to happen post-Kobe, all this stuff. Little hiatus. Boom, LeBron James comes. Boom, Anthony Davis comes. Championship, right? You go, oh, Lakers are going to miss the playoffs again. Total disaster. Westbrook trade was done. Blah, 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 blah. And then boom. Next thing you know, we're in the Western Conference Finals. And the Lakers are, of course, looking to try to improve that roster. They have LeBron James and Anthony Davis. And so many people are like, oh, well, you're just trying to give LeBron more help. It's like, well, yeah, you're trying to win a championship. Isn't that the job of the organization? Are you a Charlotte fan? Are you a Hornets fan? Is that what it is? If you want that, where they're fine being mediocre every year and could care less about doing anything, then fine. But that's not what the Lakers are. The Lakers are a franchise that pushes their chips to the table time and time and time again, because they know that they'll just have new chips tomorrow. And they're looking for ways to upgrade. And that's what you're supposed to do, right? Yes, if the Lakers stand pat, do they have a chance to win a championship? Absolutely. But if you have a option of upgrading spots, if you turn D'Lo into Bradley Beal, Bradley Beal is a better player than D'Angelo Russell. And he still fits. It's not a Russell Westbrook type fit. So, yeah, sure, get him. Right? If you can turn Beasley into Buddy Hield, yeah, sure, go get him. Right? Because, again, that's your job. If you can upgrade your roster and give yourself a better chance, that's what you're supposed to do as an organization. I mean, the Golden State Warriors won a championship and then turned around and got Kevin Durant. Right? I mean, they didn't win the year before, but you get my point. They were very capable of winning championships without Kevin Durant. But they were like, hey, we could get Kevin Durant. Go get Kevin Durant. If tomorrow Giannis was like, I want to be a Laker and play with LeBron James and Anthony Davis, and the Lakers could go get him, you go get him. That idea and concept isn't far-fetched. That's how it works. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? Agree with me? Push chips to the table. Get it done. Let's do it. Make it happen. Whatever you can do. Whatever you got to do. How do you think? No. Stay the course. Again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below.